This episode reminded me that I love Amos and Peaches, but I am very worried about the boys scene on our hand where Amos is going to lose a face.
It's always going to be like that Superman situation of like, how does Superman make love to Lois? I think Kevin Smith has a whole monologue
I
on
think he
that from
does,
one of the
yes.
movies. Yeah, like blows Lois's back out or something like that.
Before we get going, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. If you want to see us do this live, we're on Twitch. Come join us. Hang out.
In the world of the Expanse, as we've seen over the last 5 seasons, the Earth has never been like the center of the show, right? Like we occasionally see Earth, but it's not like where everything happens. But this episode, I suddenly felt Earth was like not only irrelevant, but I felt like Earth was done. Everybody's abandoned ship and the government's on the moon now. Everybody's trying to grab onto whatever they can hold on to. I had never felt that kind of context in this show before. This is not home anymore. And that was really powerful.
A target for what?
Follow-up strikes. I'm expanding the Palace Initiative.
Maybe this is the first time I've really been disappointed this season. David Pastor as the leader, he makes the strike, right, on the Belters.
Right.
He went the strong man route that I was worried about earlier. And I think what's so disappointing is they've kind of already resolved it. In the books, that's probably way more fleshed out of a storyline, but I was like really intrigued by his leadership, and it seems like we've already resolved it so quickly. We didn't really get to go into it.
It felt like the entire resolution was like off screen and maybe would have been felt a little better to have some kind of like real conflict boil over.
I will not be a part of this.
Are you stepping down?
Yes, sir.
I did feel that moment of when she decides to walk out that, I mean, the threat is that they're going to then attack Ceres, which is not exclusively a belt station. It's a Martian station that serves the belt. I think it was good that she at least tried to take a stand with the initial kind of like hitting, just an exclusively belt station that is like, this is just civilians. And I think anytime there was war, that is one of those moral quandaries that have to be dealt with.
Jesus, Dane.
And mine.
We're supposed to be better than this.
It was a great scene. Her walking out,
It
that
was.
stand,
Yes.
the fact that there were all those other leaders who were like, we're supposed to be better than this. I was really feeling that. And also, again, played into the disarray that Earth is in. Complete shambles. They can't even agree on anything. I really felt that. For then it to just be like, there's been a coup. He's gone. You're our new leader. I'm happy to see her back. I love her. And she's great.
sure,
And
but
she's learned her lessons. And I feel like she's the right leader at this time. She got there really easy. Maybe there's going to be something, in the cliffhanger season finale. I don't know.
The moment with her posting her husband's name on that sort of, floating remembrance plaque or whatever that is sort of is, I found it kind of powerful because she doesn't really know. She might never know. That's how much mass death kind of happened on Earth, is that you might never get confirmation with a body or with anything, and she just has to kind of accept that that's what happened. And there's something just really devastating about that. And I think that spoke, in that cabinet meeting, I think that spoke to some people that like, it's not like she hasn't lost.
And making his children watch him draw his final breath because he murdered my husband.
She's got such an amazing accent, but I'm like, Arjuna. I'm like, I can't.
You gotta smoky it up if you're gonna do it like her. You gotta smoky.
Give me a shot of your finest Martian whiskey.
Smoky Avasarala voice. This sounds more like I'm playing the slots in Reno.
Like, what are you,
Reno,
Patty and
baby.
Selma?
What do you know? He's wearing pants. I owe you a lunch.
Naomi last week, Dominic Tipper, like killing it. This week, I want to talk about Kara Gee playing Kamina Drummer. She's just in a devil's deal that she cannot win. Does she do what she knows is right in her soul, which may literally kill her and all of her people? Or does she just keep going on and like at some point, I think anybody has known what it's like to just feel yourself being slowly killed with time. Like you're doing something that is absolutely sucking the life out of you. And this isn't just like, I hate my job. This is her, I hate my job, and my employer keeps killing everyone I care about.
Mako killed Clay's Ashford, and I sat on my hands and played nice with him so you would be safe.
Next week, some shit's gonna go down because you know that Drummer's like at her end, and like her second in command, Oksana, literally is like, it's like she knows. And I really had thought for a second that Oksana was betraying her, wasn't gonna tell her, and then they have that kind of really cool moment in the airlock where they're like separated, you know, they're literally separated physically, and then she opens the airlock and they have that moment, and then she like separates them again. That's Drummer right now, is that she just feels so physically and emotionally separated from everybody that matters, and she feels like everybody might be dead. She's got that simmering plotline this season that I'm like, I just need you to kill Marco.
Yeah, waiting for her to
be the
pop
one.
off. Yeah. I can't remember exactly what she yelled, but when she turned to her second and said, like, how many times do I have to compromise myself before you trust me?
Right.
She said it like way cooler.
How much shit do I have to eat before you treat me with some respect?
Man, I just wanted to get her hands on Marco, smash a whiskey bottle over his head.
The Free Navy mourns our allies who died in this valiant effort. But it was worth the price.
It opened with Marco sort of celebrating this minor victory, like they'd taken out some ships, but taken some losses. And he's really like celebratory and like, yeah, downplaying the losses. Like, yeah, it was necessary. It was necessary. And he's like, yeah, I'm the man. And he goes to his little like tactical board, and it almost felt like he's playing a video game. You just get this sense that Marco's so detached from the losses and from the real, you know, humanity. Like, I don't believe for a second, and I really never did, but this episode, in that short moment, just confirmed to me, like, Marco does not care about the belt. Marco cares about Marco being the man. This guy, you're just like, I want you done. And I want to give like a shout out to Josiah Chase Owens, who plays Philip. He was only in this episode for maybe a couple minutes. This kid, I don't know how old is he, 20s or something, but he's playing what's supposed to be like a 16 or 17-year-old. It's so easy to let that just sink into sort of like snotty annoyingness, and he's not. He kills this because I'm like, I feel that he's young and impetuous and his emotions get the better of him, but I don't hate him.
I don't want to wring his neck. I don't want to constantly wring his neck, and that is a big get for an actor.
And especially an actor that's being asked to be like, you're 16 and you're torn between your parents, and you're also a terrorist, and you're trying to deal with like these daddy issues and that, and also, you know, feeling a disappointment of like letting your mom kill herself, and like, and I feel it all, just killing it week by week in a way that I think is easy to overlook. And I think next week is going to be a big Philip week. Like, I think it has to be.
Oh, yeah.
So she was trying to escape.
I thought the previous episode, episode 8, was setting up a lot for these final 2 episodes. And this episode, it's kind of escalating the tension even more, that like we don't have a whole lot that resolves in this episode either. The only real plotline that resolves is that Amos gets off of Earth. Every other plotline essentially is still waiting to have a kind of big moment in the final episode. So there's going to be a lot happening next episode.
You know, the episode was fine. I thought I was going to be on the edge of my seat. And funny enough, I have felt that way with a lot of other episodes this season when it's ended. And this one, I was just like, okay, where's this last episode kind of going? I guess I don't feel like they did the best job of letting me know exactly what's kind of coming next week, but maybe it's a mystery, and maybe it just surprises me, and it blows me away. So you never know. But I just felt like last week felt better with kind of getting the stakes put together for me.
What this episode kind of gives is that now everyone that we care about is sort of convening around the Chetzamoka. Like, everybody's racing to get to Naomi's distress signal, either to kill somebody else or to rescue her or to figure out what's going on. We've got a whole lot of characters all racing to this one location. I had this moment of kind of like, ugh, like when Alex, says like, "Oh, we can get there before the Rocinante," and I'm like, I bet you can, and I bet it's a bomb, and oh my god, now I know how you're gonna die. Like, I mean, I don't know, I don't know if that's what's gonna happen, but I was like, ooh, that would certainly be a way to take him out of the show. Like, I mean, I don't know. I know you're gonna not be in next season, but don't take Bobby with you. Like, I was like, could we let's save some people for next season? I don't know what's gonna happen. There's a lot
I
like that could
Yes, and I
happen.
like Alex, so I don't know. Rushing headlong into a bomb isn't my favorite way to
Totally.
lose him.
No.
He's a good character. That
He's a good
character
character.
deserves
And
a dignity,
right.
a
And
dignified
I
heroic death.
the bull character, Fred Johnson's sort of right-hand man, is seemingly being set up as a Alex replacement. He's the one currently piloting the Rocinante. I'm not in love with Bull as a sort of addition. He's fine.
I've been warming up to him a little bit. Here's the thing: there's one more season. We don't need more characters that we need
No,
to fall in
to
love
fill
with
in.
or fill in
Yeah.
space. I really like the girl with Amos.
I don't want to leave everything behind and start all over again.
I thought her and Amos
She
had some
did.
good moments, and I was kind of, when all was said and done, I was like, okay, I like her, but like honestly, I don't care.
Right, right. I mean, that was the thing.
There's so much other stuff
It
I'm
was
really concerned with. What's going
right.
on with the
What's
protomolecule?
going
Holden hasn't
right,
said a word in weeks. There's so much going on that, like, if you think back on
right.
the whole season, it doesn't feel like a lot has happened. A lot has,
A
but
lot has.
when it's broken up week to week and there's so many storylines kind of being juggled, I think they're doing a good job with it. But the feeling is like, oh, I just kind of want more. I
I
just want more. And this
right. No,
episode to
no.
me was the
I
first one where I felt like they're kind of losing the traction I thought that they were
exactly.
doing a good job of keeping.
This season, it was just very front loaded. There was so much happening in the first 4 or 5 episodes, and then it has slowed down in the last half. Feels like this season could have been maybe 8 episodes as written, that they could have tightened it up. Like, this episode felt a little bit like we were moving in place. And some of these plot lines, it feels like we could have just like had an episode that was, instead of 50 minutes, maybe it's 60 minutes, and we could have just had 8 or 9 episodes, and it really would have been a much tighter season. I still like this season, but I'm with you that this is the first episode where I'm like, it doesn't feel like we've gone anywhere new that we didn't really know about or didn't see coming in a previous episode. I just think there's so much riding on the finale. I have absolute faith that they're going to do it well.
It's not like this was a bad episode. This
No,
just felt like
no.
the middle of like season 3 somewhere. Like,
Right.
this did not feel like the
We're
penultimate of
looking
our
for.
latest
Yeah.
season that we're on right now.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm really excited for next week. Like, I know some people have seemed to have fallen off a little bit with their excitement for this season, but I'm still all in. I think the last episode is going to take all these plot lines and really come together in a big way. We've got, Alex and Bobby and Holden and Naomi all coming to the same spot. We drummer as well. Presumably Amos is going to end up on the moon, with Avasarala. And my understanding from book people commenting is like season 6 is really, the book 6 is a very big cap note to a big part of the Expanse story. So we're leading into something that's going to be even kind of bigger and better potentially. So I'm excited. Last episode coming up in 1 week.
Huge stakes, lots to lose, coming up next week on The Expanse, and I can't wait to see how they're going to shock and amaze us.
We will see you guys then.